All right, let's build our first 3D model. I'm going to pick a nice color. I think I'll use pink. And what I'm going to do is, what are my layers like? This one right here. I am going to take this pink color and I am going to draw 1, 2, 3 little dots. These 3 dots I will take and maybe a different color. We'll use orange. I am going to draw a line between each of these 3 dots. And that's my first 3D model. I know, try to contain your excitement. Now, these 3 dots, they're the most important part. In 3D, we will be referring to these as a vertex, or the plural is vertices. So the pink dots are vertices, and they are any point on the grid. You pick a grid point, you could put a vertex there. The orange lines between them, grab that orange color, these orange lines are referred to as edges. And edges are lines between vertices. So anytime I have 2 vertices, the line that connects them is an edge. That means that this thing in the center here, let's just lasso it out real quick. And I will make new layer, and we will fill this with nice color. What's a nice color? Maybe a light blue. That sounds lovely. So I'll just take this, give myself a nice large brush, and fill that all in. This shape right here is referred to as a face. And a face is an area between edges. So let's say a connected plane between 3 or more edges. And now I will move that over here so that you can read the whole thing. So a vertex is a point on the grid. Edges are lines between vertices, and a face is a connected plane between 3 or more edges. And that's why this is my first 3D model. It's a single face. Now this model right here has 3 edges, and a face with 3 edges is referred to as a triangle. I know, try to contain your surprise, but a triangle is a face made up of 3 edges. The next type of face that we talk about is a quad, or a quadrangle. And a quadrangle is a face made up of 4 edges. Anything above 4 edges is referred to as an n-gon. So an n-gon is a face made up of more than 4 edges. The reason that this is important is very simple. A triangle is the smallest component of a face. If you play a lot of video games, you've probably heard that all of your models are triangles, or that there is a specific triangle count that most games need to match. That's because triangles are really small, and that makes them very, very quick for computers to display and render, which is awesome. They are, however, kind of hard for modelers to deal with, so modelers tend to work in terms of quads, four-sided faces, and the reason that we do that is very simply that a four-sided face is very similar to a three-sided face. They can both calculate pretty quickly, but the 4 is much easier to manipulate, and you can see how I can turn this shape very easily into something that would more closely resemble a quad. In my next video, I will start talking about this concept called edge flow, and edge flow relies really heavily on the quadrangle concept. So, when you look at 3D models, you're probably looking at triangles. When you're working with 3D models, you're probably working with quads. N-gons are faces with more than 4 edges, and that's because nobody likes anything that's higher than a quad. Computers don't like them, modelers don't like them, nobody likes them. So I'm not going to go through the process of saying, oh, this one's a pentagon, this one's a hexagon. I'm just going to very briefly say, they're n-gons. Nobody likes them. So for the moment, you know that a 3D model is comprised of vertices, edges, and faces. Faces can be triangles if they have 3 edges, quads if they have 4, or n-gons if they have more than 4. So that is your first 3D model and your first set of modeling vocabulary.